Hey, hello everyone. My name is Joseph Getawa Inaina. I'm the founder and the director of Word of Truth Christian and Resource Center here in Maimahio. It's a great honor that the Lord has chosen us at a time like now to be able to train pastors and church leaders here in Kenya. You know, brothers and sisters, Kenya, although is said to be 85.3% Christian according to last year's census, the reality is that most people's faith is a mile wide, an inch deep. Probably you have heard of that saying. You see, sound biblical training along with intensive discipleship is needed to change the devastating ethnic violence, especially what we saw in 2007, 2008, the AIDS pandemic, bad governance, massive corruption, and increasing poverty. You see, the rapid numerical growth of Christian has exposed weaknesses of numerical growth without appropriate spiritual growth. That's what we are missing. The growth, the church growth in Kenya is impressive, but many Christians are faced with lack of good discipleship. Many observers have noted that the disappropriate ratio of the trained pastors to the planted churches make it very difficult to adequately disciple Christians in the church. And that's the reason why Word of Truth, a Christian Resource and Training Center exists. We have been here since 2016, and by God's grace, we have been able to train 90 pastors. This desire grew as a result of my personal walk with the Lord. I grew up in a Christian home, and so going to church was not an option. That was a must. And so I grew up thinking that since I go to church, I do things at church, I thought that was salvation. But it's until in grade 5. In grade 5, I went to a youth camp, and the gospel was shared to me that salvation is not about being a good boy, doing things in church, but it's realizing that you are a sinner, you are born a sinner who desperately needs Jesus. And I remember making a decision that time that I want to accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And so after that, I had pastors, I had people who trained me, who walked with me, and I'm so glad for men, especially that the Lord put on my life to be able to help me, to help with my walk with the Lord. But most of these pastors who helped me, who discipled me, they had never gone to Bible school. They could not afford. Many of them did not have adequate education to go to Bible school. And so after my high school in 2003, and I was so privileged to go to Moffat Bible School, where I trained for 4 years. And it's during my training there that I was learning stuff and great things. And I was like, I wish the men, pastors who trained me, who discipled me, heard what I was going through. And it's there, back in late 2007, 2008, that the desire to train pastors and church leaders came to be. And I remember saying that when I grow up, I will want to train pastors and church leaders. And so when God opened an opportunity for me to go to the U.S., went to Moody, a great institution. Again, I had mentors there, people who encouraged me, to live for the Lord. And so once we came back, it was clear to me that the goal is to look for men and women who cannot afford, who do not have the required education to go to Bible school. I'm a strong believer that Kenya has many good Bible schools. But for you to go into those schools, you need a certain grade. And so for us, we don't look at the academic qualification. We want men and women who desire to serve the Lord, but they don't have the training. And so that's what we have been doing. 90 pastors have graduated in the last 4 years. Currently, we have 20 more that we are training. And I want to encourage you out there, if you have the call to serve the Lord and you can't afford, or you don't have the required education, or you don't have all that time, Word of Truth is a praise for you, for all our supporters, people who make this possible, because we do this tuition free. Our students don't pay for anything. I want to thank you so much and continue to support what we are doing. You know, what we are doing, it's really grounded in what Paul told Timothy in 2 Timothy 2:2, that and what you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, and trust it to faithful men who will be able to teach and train others also. That is our goal, is to take this that the Lord has entrusted to us, to entrust it to faithful men. Also, 2 Timothy 2:15, that's what we do, is to do our best to present ourselves to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, who rightly handles the word of truth. By the way, our name comes from there, Word of Truth. We are training men and women to rightly handle the word of truth. And therefore, may the Lord bless you as you seek to come, if you're a student, or as our supporters, continue supporting what we are doing here for the kingdom of the Lord. May the Lord bless you, and thank you so much for your time. Amen. Hold on,